So first we're going to use half a cup of butter, and these are for our cranberry and white chocolate chip cookies. You can also use regular chocolate chip cookies. Regular chocolate chips, chocolate ones. But this is what I'm using. It's gonna be half a cup of butter, and then we're going to do half a cup of sugar. So I'm only doing half a cup of sugar because the cranberries are already super sweet, and with the white chocolate chips, you know, it's gonna be even sweeter, so I don't want that much sugar. Just mix it together. This is just the butter and the sugar. See? Okay. So now we're gonna add our egg, just one egg. Okay. Dispose of this. Mix it in. That's how it looks. Just your sugar and your butter and your one egg. All right. Now we can start adding our vanilla extract, or if you have real vanilla, you are super fancy. Okay, so I don't have real vanilla, so I'm gonna be using vanilla extract, just imitation. And I'm gonna do just 1 tablespoon just to give it that little pop of flavor. Mix it in. I'm also going to get my salt. And I'm going to do half a teaspoon. Actually, I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon. Sorry about that. That's half. Oops. And then that's my full teaspoon. Okay. And then next is going to be our baking soda. We're also going to do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And I get this big old bag from Sam's. It's really cheap. Go, 1 teaspoon. Mix it in there. That's just gonna give us enough volume on our cookies. And then I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Can't pronounce that, but this is what it looks like. Look, cream of tartar. Scoop some out with my knife. right? And that is going to give them that little fluffy look that we're looking for. Alright, now that we've incorporated all our wet ingredients, we are ready to start adding the rest of our dry, which is our flour. Alright, let's see. 1 cup of flour. Let me mix that in and then I'll add the rest. One thing that I learned about making cookies, whether you're making chocolate chip or butter cookies or sugar cookies or whatever type of cookies that you're making, is that many times they come out flat. You know, we tend to wonder why they came out flat and we can't figure out what went wrong. So one way that you can fix that issue is by adding more flour. So there's no real science to it, just add more flour. Okay, so that's my 2nd cup of flour. When you add more flour, it's gonna give you that thickness on your batter that you need. Just incorporating everything together really well. You see how thick it's gotten? So this is how thick it should be. If you're making cookies and your batter is very runny, just add more flour. Even if you're following a specific recipe and you're wondering, okay, so why is it that my cookies are very flat and runny and they stick to the pan and I follow the recipe? I know sometimes people say, oh, it's because your butter's not room temperature or whatever the excuse may be. I think at the end of the day, it's always the amount of flour that you put in there. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little more. I'm actually gonna add a 4th cup of flour. So this recipe is gonna call for 2 cups and a 1/4 of flour, and I'll post all the ingredients on the description. Now if you have a hand mixer, you can use a hand mixer as well, but it's not needed. So you just scoop it up and smush it down. Scoop it up and smush it down. That way you can incorporate everything really nice in there. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add our cranberries. I'm just using this Ocean Spray cranberries. We're going to add some cranberries in there. And then we're going to add the white chocolate chips. So we're going to do a 1/3 of a cup of the cranberries, and then we're going to do about the same with the white chocolate chips. You can add more if you like them, or less. It's up to you. So this this recipe is very forgiving. You can pretty much add whatever you want to. You can add pecans, nuts, chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, macadamia nuts, whatever you want to. So we'll do a third since they're super sweet. And I'm just using it's Great Value white baking chips, but you can use whatever you want to. Okay, here it is. It looks so pretty. Now we're just going to incorporate them into our batter. Alright, so we're done with this. That's how it looks. See? That's it. Look how thick it is. So I have my pan here and I've added a just a sheet of parchment paper or wax paper, whatever you call it, and I sprayed it with some just pan spray or vegetable oil, whatever you want to use, even butter. So this is ready for me. Get this out of the way. It's ready for me to start placing my cookies. All right. So you can grab some with your hands and just roll them into a nice ball like this. And then just place them on your sheet. Hold on. Place them on your sheet. Okay. If your cookie dough is not this thick and you can't roll it with your hand because it's super runny, just add flour, all-purpose flour, whatever flour you're using, just add more. And I guarantee you that is going to fix your issue. If you want to be more accurate or you want your cookies to come out perfect and all the same size, then you can just use I know a lot of people use an ice cream scoop. So that way all your cookies will be the same size. I actually like having big cookies and small cookies. Pues tienes que practicar otra vez. Okay, so let me spread them up. So there you go, and these are ready for the oven. Oops, they're sliding. We're just gonna check our cookies just to make sure that they're cooked. And yes, they are, because our toothpick is really nice and clean. Right? If you're wondering why they have that fluffy shape, it's only because whenever we finish rolling our little balls, we didn't flatten them out. Now, if you like your cookies flat, you can just grab your spatula, and when you have your ball, just press down on them, and they're going to come out. I want you to see how soft they are. Look. Look at that. That is super, super delicious. They're so thick. And like I mentioned, these can be made so good. They're not overly sweet. And you can make this with chocolate chips as well, and they will be just as fluffy and just as thick. Imagine a super thick chocolate chip cookie like this. Thanks for watching.